Alrighty, here we've got Exo-Caliber being played on an Xbox Series X, courtesy of Exo-Soft. It's a pretty cool little uh, vertical scrolling shooter. Shmup. Some options here, gameplay options, too much to write home about. Extras, you can turn on that retro filter, that retro CRT filter if you want. I'm going to go ahead and play with it on. And, play, so you get story, arcade, boss rush, time rush. I have not made it that far in the game, so I haven't unlocked boss rush or time rush yet. Story gives you the ability to have more health as well as unlimited lives, but limited lives works a little bit differently than traditional shooters or traditional games in general, which I will explain. Arcade mode, less health, limited lives. I'll go into story mode though. So when you start the game, big mode, you got three different characters to choose from. You've got Erendite, Gelatine, and Caliburn. You have each one. You have all the other ones too. Actually, I forgot about that. That's kind of cool. So let's go ahead and choose Gelatine with the burst weapon. What's cool is when you pick a character, you can actually fire the weapon and see how what it's like to use it. Yeah, that's gonna be annoying. And then Caliburn is just traditional shot weapon. Each one of them has a melee attack and a boost button. I'm gonna go ahead and try playing as Gelatine. So essentially the story is you have to stop the runaway AI robots. That's the premise anyway. In a nutshell. So you've got enemies that'll come after you. You've also got scrap you can collect, which is utilized to upgrade your abilities. Now you can either choose to fire at the scrap to get a little bit more money, or you can just take it as is, as a whole, if you will. Yeah, I don't like this burst weapon at all. This is really tough to use. I much prefer Caliburn's straightforward weapon. But with the bullets that come at you, you can actually use the melee weapon to deflect them. You can also use the boost to deflect them as well. Now, when you die, I bet you what you're thinking. Hey, unlimited lives, you died, but you're starting over. Yes. With unlimited lives in this game, you have checkpoints, which I think is kind of an interesting way to handle it. So instead of a game over, you just keep resetting at a particular checkpoint. So, interesting way to handle checkpoints for sure, or to handle unlimited lives for sure. I like the fact that you can deflect the bullets. Definitely handy to be able to do. And also, you can attack enemies with your melee weapon, which is nice. You can also use the melee weapon as kind of a dodge, which I think is kind of cool. Definitely handy. Grab that scrap. Oh, even more scrap. I think actually you may get more scrap as Gelatine because of her weapon. I didn't think about that. Because playing as Caliburn, you'd only get maybe 1 or 2 scraps through this entire stage. So I guess it's kind of a benefit. I'm sure if you played as the other one, you'd get even more scrap spawning. But so that's neat. Oh, another thing to mention about the scrap is that once you lose a life, you lose some scrap too. Because what it does is it buys a life in the store. It simulates buying life in the store, which I think is like $10 in scrap. So that's kind of unfortunate. So I'm curious to see what happens if you lose all your money. Do you still get to play the game? I'm sure you do, because limited lives. But I just thought that was kind of lame that the game has you buying lives once you lose a life. I mean, limited lives, I want limited lives. I don't have to buy a life. That's kind of silly. Oh, dang it. Those barriers come down or come through, and you'll take damage if you go through them like I just did there. There's no way to like shoot through them. You just have to speed through them and get through them without getting killed. And look, see, I lost some money there. I mean, you only lose a lot, and I don't think it's actually as much as if you bought a life. I think you lose a couple bucks, and I think a life is like $5 or $10 in scrap. So it's not the same as buying a life, but it's similar enough to be like, really? You're gonna make me lose my money in order to have limited lives? But I mean, it's a decent trade-off. At least you get to play through the game. You just can't upgrade your your stuff without money. Although I'm curious to see what her upgrade weapon's like. So yeah, this is Exo-Caliber on Xbox Series X. This is a wonderful shmup. It is a fun shmup, addictive shmup at that, and unique, very unique. In the way it handles lives, and the enemies are interesting. The story is a good story, and the game gives you quite a bit of challenge. Even with the limited lives, it's still a challenging game, and that's what you want in a shmup. So, I'm going to go ahead and review here, though. I want to thank you guys for the opportunity. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. As always, until next time, take care and happy gaming.